Okay. Hello everyone. And my name is Sugi Yamagawa. And today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be making vegetarian Paella? Paella sounds right. But yeah, we're going to be making a vegetarian Italian dish. And part of the reason for this is I really want to take advantage of this really nice weather I'm having, because my goodness gracious, this weather is amazing. I am really enjoying this weather. Like, you people have no idea. Like, I have endured great hardship for a long time. And it's finally nice to actually be able to be at a point where it's like, okay, the weather's now nice again. So, I figured, what better way to celebrate than hanging around the fire pit and doing a little bit of cooking. I'm not sure where the stream is going to come in terms of time. I don't know. I know this should be like a reasonably length stream, but at the same time I also am like, who knows how this is going to all go. Bah. Just got a little too much heat from that fire. Don't want that. Don't want that. No. Like, there's been way too much heat. Way too much heat for a long time. But yeah, I hope all of you out there are having a great weekend. I gotta say, so far, this weekend's been pretty good. Except for the fact that I went to my favorite microbrewery today, expecting them to have their Oktoberfest in stock, and that was not the case. They did not have Oktoberfest. That makes me sad. That makes me very sad. Wait. Oh, that's where they are. Okay. So, we're going to be making vegetarian panilla. I've never made this before, so feel free to, like, do the things, like diss me, or like whatever, or backseat me. I don't care. I genuinely do not care how things go, but I do want to end up with a delicious dish at the end of the day, which is kind of one of the reasons why I'm okay with being backseated. But yeah, and also it does feel very strange to be around the campfire after what seems like is a long time. Also, this is my first time around the fire pit since the new garage door has been put up. And one of the quirks of the new garage door is it has a certain height that it likes to be at. And that's the height that it likes to be at. And those heights are fully opened, fully closed, and mostly open. So, historically, I've mostly closed it when I'm doing these campfire cooking streams, because a lot of the smoke and such can end up inside my house, and that's an undesirable outcome. So my abilities to mitigate that have been mitigated with the new garage door. So we'll see how that kind of goes. But yeah, first and foremost for today, vegetables. Yeah. Actually, I need to double check my. I didn't get the best amount of time to actually. So we'll do onion. Yep. Okay. So pepper and onion will get added at the same time. So I can actually do my prep for the onion and the peppers at the same time. Okay. That's good. That makes me happy. So, what you just saw was vegetables I have grown. These are vegetables I have grown. However, though, with these vegetables are grown, I'm also kind of, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word. I know I'm looking for a word. I don't know what word I'm looking for. We're starting with veg prep. That's just basically what's going to happen. We're going to be starting this dish off with vegetable preparations. That is our start line. And as always, I will be throwing cornucopious amounts of my offcuts into the fire. Because, hey, I got a fire. You know what? That is the purpose of the fire, is to not only cook the vegetables, but also to help me dispose of the offcuts. Because if I take the offcuts and throw them in the fire, they turn into ashes, which ashes get turned into compost. And then it's like basically the stuff that helps fertilize the next round of crops. So yeah, I'm gonna start working on these on my onions. I'm gonna be combining onions and my peppers into this bowl. Since this is actually the homegrown vegetables, the recipe calls for bell pepper. I'm actually using not bell pepper. These peppers actually have a little bit more spice to them than that, and I'm okay with that because I'm cooking them. Generally speaking, I'm kind of a weak sauce boy when it comes to vegetables. Well, actually just heat in general in my food. However, though, I'm generally okay as long as I cook my vegetables. So we're just going to be starting off by doing a little bit of veggie slicing and whatnot. And that's where we'll start today. And me constantly getting smoke in my face. Oh, the Campfire streams. I've missed these. I've actually truly missed these. Says the guy who's getting lots of smoke in his face right now. But I sincerely mean that, in the sense that it's actually nice to actually enjoy the outside weather again. It's been a while since we've been properly outside. Actually, I'm curious. Excuse me for a moment. I am going to look. So the last actual proper campfire cooking stream was the beer, cheese, and pretzels in the Dutch oven. That was the last time I've been outside. So it's been a month. It's been a solid month. So it's good to be back. It's definitely good to be back. Also, I'm going to be having plenty of the Brewskis tonight, because I want to. Because I'm also kind of partly celebrating getting through the hot season, for the most part. I feel like when you round the corner into August, you basically went from full-on hot as hell conditions to, okay, it's hot, but it's not too bad. And that's my opinion. Yeah. So, it's still warm. It's still toasty outside. But it's definitely a lot more tolerable. Yeah. Eh. Gosh, I wish I could keep my eyes a little bit more open. But that is certainly not possible with the amount of smoke I am seeing. Wow. Hey, wind. Why are you kicking up then? Why you kick up when I talk? Okay. But a lot of this stuff is gonna get cooked. Wow! So, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. You know what? I'm a crazy guy. I'm gonna go ahead and have a little bit of that onion. I really like the onion. I'm a big onion guy. That's why I grow onion. So I've got some peppers. I've got... Whoa! Hey there, peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and start laying all these guys out because the peppers are actually going to be cooked at the same time as the onions. So I'm going to prepare all of them at the same time as onion and various other goodies. So yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone out there is having a good weekend. So far, mine's been pretty good. Certainly in a no complaints. Past getting in front of a fire and getting smoke thrown in my face, but past that, things have been good. And I hope they've been good for all of you out there. Whew. I am getting quite a bit of wind. And I'm not sure if I like it or not. Because some of this wind is like really hitting me in the face. I don't like that. I don't like wind in the face, especially when I've got a fire in front of me. Wow. Cool. Because it's also weird because it's coming from like this-ish direction, which is like northeast for me, whereas I'm used to my wind in my general location coming from the southeast. It's kind of weird because of how different it is. Go. Gonna get a nice good little... Also, I have already included the recipe link, and some people might be noticing that these aren't bell peppers. Well, the reason for that is because I don't have bell peppers on tap. So I'm making use with what peppers I have, which I think most of these are, I think, are Georgia Flame, which are going to be really good in this dish because they're going to bring like just a little bit of heat. Hey, fire! Can you take it easy, please and thank you? There we go. Okay, I think with peppers and onions diced, I am done with my cutting board. And those things. So I'm going to go ahead and reference my recipe. Heat 1/4 cup oil, large high-sided skillet, fitted lid, medium height, add onion, bell pepper, mushrooms. I'm skipping mushrooms. I'm actually replacing the mushrooms with corn. Is my game plan. That's what I want to do for today. Because I am reasonably a fan of like mushroom. Well, I'm actually not a fan of mushrooms. I like vegetarian dishes. I don't really think there's anything all that much wrong with them, but I'm also not a super. Goodness gracious, what's the word? I'm not like a super fan of I'm not a super fan of mushrooms, basically, is what it comes down to. Alright. You, there. Move over here. Please and thank you. And then with that... Wait, that's my right. I need my left. I need my left-handed glove. Huh, interesting recipe. Wonder how the non-rice part will end up. I think the non-rice part will be okay, Dad's old shop. But hey, thanks for swinging by and stopping by. I'm pretty sure this will turn out alright. I know traditionally this dish is made with seafood. And yeah, fun fact, I don't like seafood. I am a very hard no seafood individual. And also a very hard, yeah, my eyes don't like smoke. Sorry, it's been a while. Also, the wind is coming from a weird direction for me, so. Wait, that's there. That's there. Ah, that's where you're at. Okay. Let's get ourselves a nice little skillet on the thing. But hey, I hope you're having a good day, Dad's old shop. So far, mine's been pretty good, and I hope yours is good as well. Granted, I can't believe this recipe actually calls for a whole 1/4 cup of oil. Of olive oil at that. Which is a pretty generous helping of oil. More cohesion thing probably will taste good, but will it be a paella or a stew over rice? It will be a proper paella. Like everything will be mixed together and cooked together in the same pan. Which judging by the conversation thus far, you can tell I've never made this dish. I was literally, because I was like, okay, weather's nice enough. Weather is nice enough for me to actually be like outside and doing some proper cooking, and I now look at my pan and I clearly have lean to it. Which, some adjustments of the rebar have actually taken a good amount of that lean out, so yay! Yay! But I do need to grab a thing. Because the vegetarian recipe calls for mushrooms. It's a big dish to make intermediate level for sure. Ooh! I mean, that's what I like, honestly. I mean, I do like intermediate level. Because that's the type of stuff that I kind of like. So I'm gonna go ahead and just be real. This recipe calls for mushrooms, and I'm subbing the mushrooms for corn because I'm a monster that does not like mushrooms, but I like corn. So also I had the corn. Like, this was just laying around. So yeah. Also, I do this a lot where if I think something is somewhat reasonably suitable as a substitution, guess what? I'm going to use that substitution. You're a monster. Mushrooms are delicious. Corn is too. Yes. Well, damn it. Of course I'm a monster. I'm a VTuber. But this is kind of like one of the weird quirks of me is like, I am not a super fan of meat. And I'm definitely not a fan of seafood. Which is why I'm making a vegetarian version of this dish. But I also don't like mushrooms. So it's like, okay, I don't like mushrooms. How do I wish to go forward? Corn. I had a noodle soup tonight and had an inomako mushroom pickle. Ooh, okay. I mean, there's generally nothing wrong with that. Adding like a pickle or something. Now my thoughts are full of like using mushroom as a pickle. I mean, granted, I'm not gonna diss mushrooms. Like, mushrooms definitely contribute umami in ways vegetables don't traditionally do, and part of that is because they're from a completely separate family of life. So yeah, but I'm not gonna be the type of person. They're Chinese preserved mushrooms. They pickle them. They're tasty. Cool. Well, you enjoy being the best you can be. I'm going to be the best me that I can be. And yeah, that does not sound appealing to me at all. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I am not a fan of pickles as a whole. Which seems weird because I also do gardening, but different strokes for different folks. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Let's see, how hot's my oil? I feel like my oil is like reasonably hot. Because I need to have this over a medium. And then garlic, saffron, paprika, pepper. Okay. So, I think my oil's been... Can I put my phone here? Yes, who cares? It's displaying a recipe. It's displaying the guidepost which I am going to be abiding by. But yeah, I'm definitely a weirdo. He dumps a whole bunch of veg. Into a pot. Okay, so that's cooking now. I want to grab my spatula, my stir noodles, and then I want to start prepping my additions, which didn't eat anything except pasta, chocolate, and cheese until well after college. Pasta, chocolate, cheese. That honestly sounds like a normal person who just grew up like a picky eater. If I'm being honest. That's what that sounds like. It's like, oh hey, they were a picky eater, and that's how they grew up, and they never challenged themselves, and that's the sort of eater they ended up becoming. Which, in my opinion, I consider no meat, no veg. Okay, okay, okay. Look, I'm not a fan of olives. Olives are technically a fruit, but not being a fan of fruit, so I and here's the thing, like with meat, I'm very picky with meat. I'm a very picky with meat guy, which is kind of the reason why I don't eat a lot of meat. Let's see. This is gonna be cooking for 7 minutes ish, and then I want to in here add garlic, saffron, salt, pepper. How much salt do I wish to add? Hello, recipe. Speak to me, recipe. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Hello, kosher salt. But that's interesting. That's really interesting. Because I'm like the type of person who's like, yes, I'm a picky eater. But saying no to all 3 of those categories. Actually, wait a second. Is it like a texture thing for her? Because like that's how my brother-in-law is. Like he's a very big no vegetables guy. And a big part of that is he's not a fan of the texture. He doesn't like gooey textures, which whether or not you have a gooey texture or not depends on how you cook the vegetables. And that's how he is. Okay. So I've got pepper, salt. Yep. I need paprika for my final. Also, this recipe calls for saffron, and I'm not using saffron because saffron's very expensive. Like, her family didn't challenge her thing. Okay, yeah, that will do it. Okay, 1.5 of these things of paprika. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually got a friend who he basically eats just American food. And by just American food, like he eats pizza with the cheese cut off. And he eats hamburgers. And that's basically what he eats. Also, I'm going to be very generous with the paprika because, well, I literally bought this for this recipe. No sassafras. Scandal, yes. I'm going to be very scandalous. Like, I mean, that's a great thing about being a VTuber. So I'm allowed to be as boy failure as much as I like. And I mean, also, like, here's the thing. I could buy a thing of paprika. Now, keep in mind, I bought this. The only thing I don't like is jellyfish. I had it twice and didn't like it. I'll try it again one day, see if it changed. Wow. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, I bought this whole thing of spice for today's recipe. And I am very much I'm willing to buy ingredients for recipes. Granted, there's going to be a little bit more later on today getting into my ingredient buying, but this whole bottle was $4. And this is organic. Glass ball spices, I'm sorry for your wallet. Sir, I will have. So, I take a. When it comes to my groceries, I'm very much a medium is premium thing. Also, these glass balls are kind of nice if you need like small glass balls for things. So they have their use, they have their niche, but yeah, yes, I buy spices in glass bottles and whatever. But yeah, for me to buy saffron, this bottle of paprika was $4. For me to buy saffron was $24. And I'm sure saffron is one of those things where a little goes a long way. I'm sure I could spend the $24 on that bottle of saffron and it lasts me the better part of a year. Well, actually, let's be generous. Let's say like 2 to 3 years. Something like that. That's true. I buy spices like that by the pound and a half. Wow, pound and a half? Wow. Sounds like you buy spices how I buy cumin. Now, I'm a big fan of cumin because I do make a fair amount of rice dishes. So I'm willing to splurge for extra large amounts of that. I do also buy extra large amounts of taco seasoning salt. Granted, I'm also reasonably limited as a home cook. And by reasonably limited as a home cook, what I mean by that is, well, I'm cooking for one human being. Versus, like, you're cooking for basically, let's call it 2.5 human beings, at least as far as, like, portion sizes are concerned. Well, actually, probably a bit less than 2.5, but eventually that's going to become, like, 3+. Because hashtag teenagers. Which I had a lot of fun with that, like teasing my sister. Because last week I was babysitting her dog. Well, not like this past week, but the week before that. I was basically dog sitting. So I dog sat. I bought garlic powder that was 12. The 2-ounce standard jar is 3. The times 3 price. Yeah. I mean, that's doing good math. Like, I mean, granted, I do buy garlic powder from Costco. I do buy, like, the big, like, thing, which this recipe didn't call for garlic powder, so I don't have that thing lying around, but I would have it. But, I mean, I have made it a point to point out how much of a fan I am of the Kirkland brand products. Well, Kirkland brand and also just being, in general, a Costco fan. I am a Costco stan. If I feel like it's reasonable for me to get my spices from Costco, I will certainly do so in a heartbeat. However, though, I'm also a guy who got his house when his parents died, and part of that was just having a whole bunch of spices I've never really used. Because I'm now in the point in my life where I'm like, hey, let's learn how to cook other dishes, you know? And, oh heck, Costco spice is also weird. The recipe doesn't have... Yeah, the recipe has garlic. Yeah. It actually calls for, like, 3 cloves of garlic. Which I'm just using, like... Because, I mean, honestly, this is a big reason why I like the mint stuff, because it's like, it's in a jar, it's already like, basically, but yeah, the recipe is calling for garlic. The recipe is certainly calling for garlic. Garlic. Words. Can't spit them out. Not yeah. It actually calls for minced garlic cloves, which that's the whole reason why I bought this like 2-pound thing. Like, I'm a big fan of garlic. I'm willing to buy like 2 pounds of this stuff for recipes. I'm a garlic guy. Granted, I do love throwing garlic powder on my pizzas, my frozen pizzas, because that's how I like doctor up frozen pizzas. I doctor up frozen pizzas with actually, before I throw the pizzas into the oven, I'll hit them with some olive oil, just like a nice little drizzle on top, because oil isn't super stable. So a lot of those like dehydrated frozen foods won't have like a lot of oil component to them. So I'll hit it with some oil, and then I cook the frozen pizza. And then after I pull the frozen pizza out of the oven, I will then add, I'll then hit it with the garlic powder first while the pizza's like really hot. And then I'll probably wait for a minute for the pizza to cool down, and then I'll hit it with either dried basil, if that's what I have, or fresh basil. Which, granted, right now we're in late summer, I have plenty of fresh basil. Hi, car. But yeah, I've got like tons of fresh basil right now. I am awash in basil. I haven't even pulled a single tomato this year. And that is kind of like the biggest like mark of shame for me as a gardener this entire season has been like, don't diss a doctored up frozen pizza. Like, get yourself like a good quality frozen pizza, and then like hit it with some fresh olive oil, hit it with some garlic powder and some fresh basil, and then if you want to be extra, add some Parmesan cheese. It's great. I love it. It has been like a standby for me for like more than half a decade. Like, and like that's like a lot of things with like preserved foods, like even like the cup noodles, because I saw you were trying out like the cup noodle pickles. I'm a big cup noodle curry fan, and for the cup noodle curries, I will actually add a little bit of oil, because the food doesn't have oil in it. So I'll add a little bit of oil to it, and then I'll add some like fresh diced onion. Goodness great. Like, it's good. It's good. You add a little bit of that to a cup. You add a little bit of oil, a little bit of fresh onion. The oil gives it like that, helps make it feel like it a little bit more. Well, between the oil and the onion, makes it feel a little bit more like it was actually made in a restaurant. Even though it's not, but it still tastes good at the end of the day, which is what's important. And we're at like the 42-minute mark because of a very long-winded conversation about things. Which, speaking of long-winded conversations, I've got paprika. Wait, did I add salt? Did I add salt to this? My salt is off to the side. I presume my salt's in here. Yeah, I presume my salt's in here. Okay. So, I presume my salt's in my jar. So, this is my magic jar of spices. I'm going to hit my dish, my pan, with my magic jar of spices. Which, by the way, contain cornucopious amounts of garlic. Which, you know what? I am a crazy human being. I am a crazy human being. Just throw some extra garlic in there. For no other reason than just because. And now I'm going to give this like a nice stir to incorporate everything. Oh my goodness, the smell is amazing. So that is a downside of the campfire cooking streams, is like all this amazing deliciousness smell is outside. It's not inside. Okay, so shortly I have to prepare the wine, because apparently this is a dish that calls for wine, and I probably confused the poor store clerk at my local grocer when I wandered into the liquor section and was just staring at a wall of wine, because I was like, okay, I know I need, so the recipe calls for a dry white wine, and I was like, okay, is like this good? Like, does this work for what I wish to do today? And then I did a quick Google search, and like, this should work pretty well. Which this whole Pinot Grigio, this should actually be pretty good for today's. Traditionally, this recipe that I'm making today is made with like shrimp, seafood, and also a lemon. Granted, I will be using lemon juice later, and this is a good one to complement those flavors. So I am doing my reasonable due diligence. And also, that's kind of a fun thing with this is, ooh, this smells good. This one smells really good. Oh, hey, look at that. I can't... Oh, I can kind of see. Honestly, I'm going to be a little bit generous with the amount of wine I'm throwing at this, because, well, here's the thing. I threw a generous amount, and I still have a lot of bottles left, and I'm not exactly a wine guy. So, this means at the end of the day, I have a good... I have a good amount of wine for later, which I'm kind of not sure how I feel. Okay, add wine, cook until mostly reduced. So for now, I'm mostly concerned with like making this fragrant, which I gotta say, so far this is turning out pretty well. I like the smell I'm getting. I'm getting a very positive smell. Okay, so positive smell from this. I want to cook my wine for 2 to 3 minutes until mostly reduced, stir, and fries. Okay, so hey, so after preparing rice, well, after wine, I want rice. So I got some Albireo rice. The recipe calls for a short grain rice, and yeah, this is what I could source reasonably. And by source reasonably, I mean like I could just walk into my local supermarket and be like, hey, I'm looking for some like stuff for a recipe, which is kind of generally how things go. Is I'll be like, oh, hey, like I would like some stuff for a recipe, and yeah, that's just generally how it goes. Is like, arboreio is the kind that you use to make risotto. Yes, it is. So I do know that this is specifically used to make risotto, but I know I can also use this for what I'm making today. Granted, this is the only short grain rice my local Kroger had in stock. Like, literally just this. Okay. I'd say this is looking pretty amazing. I gotta say, pretty amazing stuff. Granted, I'm also very, like, optimistic for today's recipe, because today's recipe is kind of like primarily like vegetarian, and I like it when my recipes are, because like meat's really good at being a, how do I say, like a supporting flavor. Like meat's a very good supporting flavor. So let's see. I also wish to up the heat I have going here. So move a piece of wood there, and then I'm gonna slide this piece in, and we'll get some pretty good. But yeah, risotto is also another dish at some point I wish to tackle. I haven't got there yet, because my sister gave me a cookbook on Campfire recipes, and the book gave me a seafood version of this one, which was like, okay, I can live with that, but I want a okay. I'm probably the most ash-covered VTuber there is. Okay. Now, aside from that, and now I had a thought and it's gone. Beer, why do you do this to me? Why do you take my thoughts and, like, yeet them into the void? But yeah, I didn't want to do seafood because I'm not a seafood guy. Like, I am very, very much not a seafood guy. Recipe risotto seafood. Thank you very much for the thought train. I'm not good at thought train, but I can do thought train. But yeah, this dish is traditionally a seafood dish. I'm pretty sure, even in the anime Lucky Star, this dish was made. Granted, in Lucky Star, let's see, how do I put this? It was one of Kagami Hiragi's sisters who learned how to make this recipe from... She learned the seafood version. And she learned how to make this recipe while at work. And then came home and she basically made it for the family. And that's like the most notable point of like cooking in the Lucky Star franchise. Or the Lucky Star anime. And also, I'm pretty sure manga. Because I do have the Lucky Star mangas. But yeah, I do like how my little recipe on my phone's like, hey, let's cook this wine for like 2 minutes until it's reduced, and it's like, I think it's gonna be a bit longer than 2 minutes with fire. Which, if it's that, we can do that. There we go. Kind of stir things up a little bit. Gotta love some Paella. Penny round Paella from West 6 Brewing. This is how I started stream, which, like, oh wow, that's actually started boiling pretty nicely. Granted, I can't believe it's actually been an hour. Can't believe it's been there since stream started. I want the thing. Yeah, we'll do that one. In the face of options, choose an old reliable. So for my next option, I'll be doing Rheingeist's Franz. It's an Oktoberfest. It is August. It is officially Oktoberfest season for most breweries, and I am very happy for that. Because Oktoberfest makes me very happy. Granted, that could also be like my Bavarian blood. Rice, and then okay. So after I add rice to all this, I wish to add chickpeas and so let's see what we got. First off, our first addition is going to be the chickpeas, then fire roasted tomatoes, which is actually when the recipe referenced these, I was like, I feel like that's going to be hard to find. No, it's not. It was not fun. It was not hard to find. Also, I need some green pea. Also, green peas get added at the point these ingredients get added. So, how much? Because I've done corn. How much green beans? Well, green peas do I want? I don't think it's a lot. Half cup. Okay. Where's my half cup? Half cup measure. Hello, peas. Wait. You don't have rippadoodles. You don't have rippadoodles, man. I'm gonna have to use my knife-a-doodles to open you. There we go. So, we're gonna want half cup of peas. Back to the fridge, and I should probably crack open my beer. My brewskis, man. I gotta crack open my brewskis. Ooh, sizzling. Sizzling nicely. Still not super reduced, but that's fine. It's looking like it's getting reduced. This gives me time. This gives me time. Time to activate my can opener. In face up attack position. So, in today's big learns, I had a big learn moment. And the big learn moment was this can. So the recipe calls for chickpeas. This can is a can of garbanzo beans. I was today's years old when I learned that garbanzo beans and chickpeas were literally the same thing. Like, basically, literally the same thing. And it's like, wait, what? Actually, I could just... Yeah, let's actually just throw them in that bowl. There we go. That works. They're in the bowl. I can... But yeah. Yeah, I was literally today's years old when I found out, like, oh, hey, garbanzo beans and chickpeas are literally the same thing. It seems strange to me because, like, a lot of the food manufacturers are like, either this is a chickpea or either this is a garbanzo bean. But they don't. I didn't see any food manufacturers that said this is either or. And it's like, this is why I drink beer. Because in the face of confusion like that, all I can do is admittedly lose my mind. Okay. I think we're doing pretty good. I think it's rice time. So I want to hit this with... Oh. 1.5 cups. Ooh. 1.5 cups of rice. Rice is done. So we're now gonna, so this rice gets stirred into the dish. I mean, just think, viewers, there could have been saffron in this, but I chose to be a monster. Life's good when you're a monster. So we're just gonna let that cook. Wow. That just cooks for a while, and then once it's done cooking, we can add our, wait, what's underneath this? Peas, garbanzo beans, tomatoes, and vegetable stock. How else will your rice be paella yellow? I guess fire roasted tomatoes? I mean, if I really wanted to be like extra, I could grab curry seasoning. Curry seasoning will make rice very yellow. Which, let's see. I actually just added all that, and I want the rice to cook for 2 to 3 minutes. And then after this, we end up in a... We end up in a period of very long waiting. We're going to be in a period of very long waiting here soon. Well, no. If you had Anto, sure, turmeric wouldn't mesh good. Yeah. Man, look at you having, like... Look at you knowing what you're doing. You seem like a guy who should be doing more cooking streams, man. Me, I'm just a guy having fun. That's all I'm doing here. I'm just a guy having good old fun. Ooh, wait. Oh, pee. Oh, hey. Wood ash. Yep, that's some good stuff right there. Yep, I sure do like eating some wood ashes. Beer's good, though. Beer's very good. Okay, so this is being kind of sticky. Granted, this is looking good. And person who's like, well, I have a culinary urge. I don't stream cooking often because I don't want to stream hungry. I mean, that's fair about the streaming hungry. I mean, right now I'm not like particularly hungry. I'm just like, I'm kind of at the point where I can kind of eat. And I know by the time I finish eating, well, by the time I finish cooking, I'll be like, okay, time to chow down. Also, fun fact about, if you choose to be a person who does cooking streams, most of the eating is going to happen off stream. Most of the eating happens off stream. So, I'm reasonably happy with that. So, let's go ahead and add these guys. They're added off to the side. And Come on, tomatoes. Ooh. I like tomatoes. Tomatoes are good, man. So, the only cooking related thing I think I have coming up is making a spice blend for the chicken at the end of my. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds good. This sounds really good. Oh. Wow. Okay. So that's 2 cups of the veggie broth. This gets 2.5, which I have 2.5 here. Which I'm glad I'm really glad I measured this pan out in terms of ingredients and everything. Because I knew this pan would probably be pushing it. I don't think it's stream. I don't think it's an interesting stream, you know? You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So that's the end of the broth. Stir in, bring to low boil. We're not at a low boil yet. Reduce heat, cover, cook 25 minutes. So I'm gonna wait for all this goodness to get to a low heat. Well, a low boil. Actually, wait a second. Did I download that? Did I download that image? Did I actually have an image? Oh wait, I have an image from today. Okay. So we'll go to here, we'll go to here. Yep, I wish to add an image. So, I went to a estate sale today. And now this image now horrendously occupies stream, which I'm not worried about. But yeah, I secured some goodies. And I don't want to reveal the goodies. Too much. But yeah, okay, there we go. And then, well, there we go. But yeah, here's the goodies I got. Ooh, I got a nice boil. So I actually finally have gained for myself a proper brace. Yeah, it's a nice auger bit. Unfortunately the chuck on this auger brace might not be the best thing in the world for doing some of the things I wish to do, i.e. just chuck any screw or driver bit into it. But yeah, I've got it though. So I know I made mentions of doing a fully hand tool stream, and the greatest limiting factor I was dealing with was drilling holes. And then literally today, 7 hours ago, I just browsed Craigslist and was like, okay, Craigslist, is there any estate sales going on? And it turned out there was one a mile from my house. So I was like, you know what? Sure. So I went to that estate sale and I got the brace. I got the pipe wrench there. I got the hewing hatchet, which I intend to use the hewing hatchet on stream eventually. And then I got a can of lag screws and oxize, which I could definitely. And this was also like the half off day part of the estate sale. So I was like, I got everything in the picture for like $13. So I feel like I did pretty good on like, like getting good stuff for a good price. But yeah, I am pretty particularly excited about the oxides because I can use those for things. And then the pipe wrench I will probably use for work. That's a steal, yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about estate sales is like the prices approach stupid in a way. Let's see. I need to reconfigure my feet a little bit for my food. But yeah, I literally got like 4 things. It did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's put cover on the food, and the food's gonna cook for a really long time. Let's see. If I do, okay, I need to do things, and there we go. Now we're back to the action. I've got a lid on my thing. The lid on the thing is going to stay there for a while because, well, this is the part where we cook food for a while. We cook food for a little bit. Granted, I am going to have to prepare a finishing zest at some point in this bowl. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to do that in that bowl, but this is probably going to cook for a good, at this point in time, at least good 20 minutes. At least until everything's cooked down. But yeah, I did make some pretty good deals at an estate sale today, so I'm pretty happy about that. Especially considering I was just like, I'm not feeling super up to doing some estate sales today, and then it's like, you know what, like, hey buddy, like, just go to the Craigslist and see what's around. And I went to the Craigslist and saw what was around, and that estate sale was like a mile from my house. So I was like, okay, I'm going out for beer anyway. Let's just swing by this estate sale and see what they got. And yeah, for $13 I got all those things. I'm pretty happy about that. So that's kind of like my big W for the, yeah, that's my big W for the day. Unless I end stream and it turns out I've had like 20 viewers or something, which I don't care, but it's been a while since I've done a Campfire cooking stream, and it would be like a little bit nice if I had a reasonable turnout. Well, a good turnout, a really good turnout. Let's put it that way. Because I've had some of these where it's been like a little bit weak in terms of turnout, and then the VOD does well, which is interesting to me. That's really interesting to me when it's like, okay, I do the stream does like meh numbers, but then the VOD does well, and it's like, what information can I gain from this? I don't know. Like, that's how I feel about like the last Stardew stream I did, because let's see, because last Stardew stream I did, I had single-digit views on when I did the stream, but right now it's like a lot more views than what there were, and it's like, oh, okay. I don't really understand why people are watching a VOD of a Stardew stream versus like my Cambert Curry Parnay. Well, is it Pirate? I don't know. I can't say words. I can't say words. I can't spell words. I will be very honest about that. It is, especially on the spelling part. Don't expect me to be a good speller. I cannot do speller. People like yes, people do like Stardew Valley. I mean, granted, personally, I play Stardew Valley because I like Stardew Valley. Granted, the fun thing right now with Stardew Valley and me is that it's been 5 years at this point in time since I played. So it's like, it's changed. It's different now. And it's fun for that. Like, I really like the fact that in Stardew Valley, where if you're doing a thing, and then you get like a text pop-up that says you have some new ideas to sleep on, and that means you like level up like your skill in that like thing you were doing. Like, that's cool. That's really cool. I like how it's like, how the game gives you like a little like nod, like, hey buddy, you're about to level up in this thing. And then you go to bed for the night, and then get the prompt, and so like, okay, it's like, boom, level up. It's cool. I like it. Oh wait. Wait. Do you want to add that to this point in time, or? Okay. Okay, so I got a thing I need to do. That smells good, though. This smells really good. Okay. So, thank goodness no actual Italians are watching this, because I have this tube of ginger paste that I'm just kind of sitting on, and I'm like, I bought this for a recipe, and I'm like, okay, cool, I bought this for a recipe. I used it for that recipe. Turned out great. What do I do with this? Like, what do I do with this? Like, I got this now. Find some excuse to cram it into a recipe that you're cooking right now. So, that's what I'm gonna do. At least it's for, ooh, that's sweet. Very warm. So I'm gonna add just a couple of bits of ginger paste, and I have taken this to the max. But yeah, if I think ginger paste will do reasonably well in a recipe, guess what's happening? It's going into that recipe. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I really would like to use that up. It's kind of like, which is funny because I was actually talking about this with my sister last weekend, and she was talking about like learning new recipes, trying new things, stuff like that, and how she wanted to do more of that. And for me, doing what I do right now, this is basically my, hey, I'm learning new recipes right now. which I've certainly added quite a fair amount of recipes to my repertoire. Just doing this style of streaming. I'm honestly really happy with how. Actually, I tried making curry for the first time on the stream. And then I made curry a second time, but with venison. And that also turned out good. So, but that's kind of like a big reason why I do this, is to learn new recipes. And it's worked out fairly well. I'm pretty happy with it. Also, I will lay claim to this. I don't think there's been any VTuber on YouTube, as far as I know, on YouTube, that's done more campfire cooking streams than me. I am number one in campfire cooking. Like having an actual wood fire, being anime, because being anime is fun, and then cooking. Like, I am number one. I have no peer. And that's my weird, like, yes, this is the throne I sit on. This is my weird. This is the weird throne I sit on. Man, I really want to stir this dish, but I also know, like, this is the sort of dish where you don't want to stir it very much. You kind of just want to let it do its thing. But I am going to take the lid off occasionally and just let the steam come off, because I want all that to reduce down. Very much so. I very much so would want all that to reduce down. And I need water. Ooh. Got a nice little half moon right now. So, where I'm sitting in the south, what is it? Where would I be at? Let's call this southeast sky. I got a view of the moon in half phase, and I always think it's cool when I can see the moon in, like, you know, when it's like out during daylight. Woo! Whether it's the morning or not, like, it's kind of cool to just look and be like, oh hey, there's a moon up there doing moon stuff. Good for that moon. But yeah, I gotta say, life's good. Life's good. It's just I'm at the point where it's like I have rice cook. As far as my meal's concerned. As far as my meal's concerned. Gotta bounce, have a good stream? Okay. You have a good rest of your day, Dad's Old Shop. And yeah. And I'm sure you're also busy with... Like, you have a family, I don't. and I totally get it. Like, if anyone has, like, obligations outside this, by all means, take care of those obligations. Granted, I didn't actually see like the notification. Oh wait, that's a helicopter. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I see it. Wow, that's flying pretty close to the ground. Okay. Okay. Ah. But yeah, life's good. Life's really good. Because originally I was planning on doing a bird feeder stream. Well, making a bird feeder stream for today, but I was like, man, the weather's way, way, way too good. Because right now, actually, let me check my handy dandy phone in. Because I want to say we're in the 70s right now. Yeah, we're at 78. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So yeah, it's like 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Really good weather to be chillaxing around the fire pit, enjoying beer and water. And just generally having a good time. Now, sorry about that. Okay. This is gonna make a fairly large amount of food. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I have some deliciousness. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Wow. So I had. So there's a good little bit of seasoning here. But even better, there's like a good little bit of heat to this. Oh my goodness. It's a good heat. It's like, it's basically the best kind of heat where it's like, ooh, okay, bit of a spicy hit. Yeah. And then it like mellows out. It mellows out. And it's like, it doesn't like beat you over the head with like heat. But it's like, ooh, it's tasty and like hot. And then it's like, it mellows out. And it's like, oh no. This is good. This is really good. I like it. I really like it. So, I gotta say, I am very optimistic. This is definitely gonna be like a good meal. A good meal. Regardless of like how like things originate or like how things turn out in the end. Oh god. I'm very covered in ash. But I gotta say, it's been a good day. It's been a very good day. I would not change the save for anything. Especially when the beer is good. Especially when the beer is Oktoberfest. I love you, Oktoberfest. Granted, I am also looking at... So I can look out at my garden. Hey, You. Stay. Yeah. Stay. 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 But yeah, my garden's this way. All this way is my most in-ground garden. And it needs work. Goodness gracious, it needs terrible amounts of work. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So, those pots, I did a harvesting on potatoes. I did the harvesting, set everything back, threw the pots out back into the driveway. Standard stuff, standard stuff. I've had one pot get a volunteer sunflower. I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked for that sunflower. Wow. Ooh. Look at this. Look at this. This is probably... I'm probably stirring it a little too much, but I don't care. It's doing a good job. It's actually doing a really good job of absorbing like the water and such. Okay. Where's my scrape? Where's something to scrape? Oh, it smells amazing. It smells ridiculously amazing. Okay. I'm gonna put the cover on that. We're really getting to the end of this cook, so I need to grab my small bowl, which is this one. And for this, I need... So we're gonna be hitting this recipe with a little bit of olive oil. We're actually going to be making a parsley oil mix. Let's see. Oh, my paprika's there. Where's my parsley? I know where the lemon juice is, but where's my parsley at? My parsley's not over there. Where's my parsley at? There you are. There you are. So, now the recipe calls for fresh parsley. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy fresh parsley just for this. So I have this parsley flakes. And I'm going to hit it with a good amount of. I'm going to be very generous with. Because, yeah, I still have tons of parsley. So much parsley. Then... So, oh, lemon juice. And then, now technically the recipe calls for lemon juice and zest. I'm going to be very generous with my lemon juice because guess what? I'm cooking this and I can do what I want. And also because I want to use up all my lemon juice. And since I'm not using lemon zest for my parsley, so the recipe calls this the parsley oil. I'm just gonna be generous with the lemon juice, all that stuff. Well, lemon juice, parsley. Well, honestly, lemon juice, because I have. I'm not using zest. So I want to be generous with that. Okay. Woo! That smells amazing. It smells amazing. You know what? Yeah. I should not stir this too much. Yep. It smells amazing. Okay. Where's my spoon of doodles? I want to clean this off. And with that cleaned off, set there. I want to grab. Wah! I want to take this. And set it off to the side. With the main purpose of setting it off to the side. Well, is just have it off to the side, not getting a lot of heat. But I do have heat for me because, well, I have some heat. A bit of heat to make the beer good. Okay, recipe. Okay. So. Oh, wow. Woo! Okay. So we're going to let this cook for 5 minutes. 6, 3, 1. But yeah, I want to have that really off to the side. So it can just kind of like, slow cook. Yeah, slow cook. We want that slow cook. As for everything else, we don't need like a great deal of cook. Yep, there we go. So, all the heat's all the heat's happening away from the dish. That's good. And the dish is off to the side, and it's just kind of like slowly cooking. And once the dish is finished cooking, we'll hit it with our parsley oil. And yeah, we'll be done. We are nearly done. been a good day. It's been a good day. Added a new recipe to my belt. So I'll take that. I will seriously take that. It's not every day I add a new recipe to my belt. Especially in the face of weather as amazing as this. Like, oh, like this weather is amazing. This is truly like good fire pit weather. Which, what's the air temperature right now? 77. It's 77 degrees right now in Fahrenheit. That's pretty reasonable. That's pretty good. Ah. Whew. Okay, this is done. Woo! Yeah. Gotta get myself a reasonable bit of cooking area prepared. As the rice finishes cooking, let's see. Can I? Wow. Okay. I think that's as good as I can get with getting my food close to me. Man, should I? Whatever. I'll do it. I will do it. I'll do the distance. Okay. I think it's been 5 minutes since I've reasonably declared the dish somewhat done. So with that, I'll grab my parsley oil. Just give it a good drizzle. And sorry, it's a little bit off the stream, but that's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. Let's see. So, with the addition of that, what does my recipe call for? What does my recipe call for? Oh my goodness. Getting a little too eepy there. And you want to combine parsley. once. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook for 5-ish minutes, and then I'll begin to plate up. We're getting real close to plate up. So, good. Good. Good stuff. But yeah. It's actually nice to actually get like a nice, reasonably proper vegetarian dish under my belt. Because I don't get too many opportunities to get these under my belt. Okay. So since we're in the home stretch, and since I've been drinking the Brewskis, I'm gonna throw the BRB screen on just because I wanna like. Gonna be honest, I really would like to take a leak, and then after that we'll get back to it. Okay. So. And I'm back. So, I am fresh from a little homesteader's room. Only have a little bit of time left on my food. And soon we'll be plating up and enjoying said food. And speaking of said food, I have the Sprockets. This is a German Pilsner. And does it tell me the year? Yes. Well, actually, it doesn't tell me the year. Yeah. So, in 2018, this won World Beer Cup. So that's the little, like, label right there. And then also won an award at the Great American Beer Festival. But this won silver in German Pilsners at World Beer Cup, which, for those who don't necessarily know, it's a good beer. If you don't know, it's a good beer. It's a really good beer. If a beer takes home silver at World Beer Cup, it's a good beer. That's all you need to know. Oh my goodness. Smells amazing. First sip. Tastes amazing. Okay. So I've been holding myself back. I've been holding myself back on my food. I want to think about my food. I want to think about my food, man. So, step one, kind of empty out the ashes from cooking. Past that, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that's a pretty good helping of food right there. That is a reasonably good helping of food right there. And then past that, I want to do everything I can to keep the food warm, but off my fire, because I don't want to get burnt. Because this be some good food. This be some really good food. Okay. Forkadoodles acquired. I love it when I acquire my forkadoodles. Oh. It smells really good. Probably would smell better with saffron, but goodness gracious, I'm just a working class human. I'm just a working class guy. I can't afford saffron. That's some pretty expensive stuff, even though I'm sure it's good. Okay. So, all that. Let's try a little bit of vegetarian. I need to look this word to say it right. Paella. Yeah, Paella. That's the word. I can say that word. Okay. But yeah. Let's try a little bit of vegetarian Paella. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Several things. One off. It's spicy, but it's not super spicy. I attribute that to the peppers I used. But like the biggest thing with this is like depth of flavor. Depth of flavor is really, 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 really good on this. Like it is. Like if this was a little bit more at a reasonable temperature, I would pick this plate up and just be like quickly stuffing food in my face. Like, holy smokes! Like this is good stuff. This is really good stuff. Like, I am very happy with how this turned out. So, let's try a little bit more. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So, all the flavors meld together well. There's a nice little bit of spicy kick to it. But there's also a good richness of flavor to this. And this is for it being a vegetarian dish. Without any like mushrooms, without any other like bouillon. Holy smokes. I would love to just sit back, relax, and just lose my mind to this dish. So, I will say, it is that time of day again where I say thank you very much for everyone for tuning in and for joining me for today's cooking stream. I am very happy. I am exceedingly happy with how well this turned out. Definitely one of the better dishes I've made. So, thanks for tuning in for that. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, I've been having beer. There's CO2 in my GI tract. But yeah. I will be streaming next week. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. But I haven't officially posted the schedule for that yet. It'll probably be a Thursday stream, Thursday night. Probably be doing Stardew Valley. That's when I'm expecting right now. But yeah. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. Sorry this is a little bit different from the bird feeder stream that I initially was going to do, but the weather right now is too amazing for me to pass up on actually spending some time and just actually enjoying this weather. So thank you for bearing with me while I enjoy weather. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream. I'm going to enjoy some food. So, my name is Sugi Yamagawa. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. And with that, I say, bye-bye.